that's always there under all that thinking. So there's space to go down. And when there's space to go down and be upset, then this miracle happens where you pop back up without fixing it. It's the very act of fixing it that keeps it there. Because I have struggled with depression in my past. And now I have the worst disease that anyone could possibly imagine, and I have the least amount of depression that I've had in my life. I mean, that's huge.
Absolutely.
And you know, I read every book. I lived at Byron Katie's. I did Tony Robbins. Not every book, but close, you know, of all that self-help and meditation. And I went to Vipassana. I went to this place called the Option Institute, that it was about happiness is a choice. And when I came, I studied there a lot in my teens and early 20s. And I thought, well, if happiness is a choice and I'm not choosing it, I must be really, I won't say the word, right? So I got really depressed. And then I did this other thing, this crazy, crazy ride called Miracle of Love, where you got really into your emotions and really, really upset and sad, so that I can accept myself. And that was kind of a fun, crazy ride. But if you live in that ride, I couldn't function. I noticed I couldn't work. I'd have to leave work because everything upset me. And then I just quit everything. I just quit doing it. I coached, but I just felt like I wasn't authentic because I couldn't really say, you know, you could be happy and do this option dialogue or do this. And I wasn't really, but something really shifted in a deep place, but it continues to shift. What's so beautiful. It's like a little opening and it keeps opening. And when I can't see it, when I can't see what it is you're talking about, when you say that universal mind, whatever you'd call it, when I can't see it, I leave myself alone. I had a few days, I went to this health clinic I told you about. It's called Optimum Health Institute. And I was having a trouble getting back on my diet that I believe in, which is being raw. And so the first 3 days there, I had a lot of thinking. I got off coffee, so I was like a little under the weather too, and headaches and whatever. But that wasn't really it. I just had a lot of old thinking coming around me, and I was surrounded by so many people from different walks of life. My thinking was like, why? You know, look at their life, look at their life. And it was very old habitual stuff. And I just said, okay. And that's going to be, is that going to be the way we're going to do this? Okay, fine, whatever. And I just let it go. And then one day it always feels like a miracle to me. So I just surrendered to that's the way it was going to be. And then I woke up, which is why I called it Wake Up Your Wisdom, because you don't really have to do anything. I woke up and then I was like, it just didn't occur to me that the world was the way it was 3 days prior.
Yeah.
And then I just had a ball and I talked to everyone about different healing modalities and where they've been, and because I am looking for my next thing. So here's another example. If you had me a few years ago before the principles, I'd be like, oh my God, you're a doctor. Tell me what to do. I need to know what to do. I've got to know what to do. Somebody tell me. And rightfully so. It's a life-threatening disease. Now, I'm living in the unknown. The unknown is the place where you really just don't know.
Yeah.
And it's not true that I have to know in order to feel good in this moment. Like, it'd be nice. I'd like to know. I'd like you to say to me, this is what's going to work. But the truth of the matter is, there's nothing in life like that. There's no guarantees here. And we don't know that anything's going to work. And when you have cancer, you know, you're straddling this world of traditional medicine and alternative medicine. If you're someone like me who's open, Or if you're on your last leg and they said they've got nothing traditional, and then you only can go to alternative. So you have all these different things and you really want to live. And so instead of me being all frantic and thinking that I need to know what that is so that I can be at peace now, it's really the opposite. That's outside in.
Yep.
And it doesn't look outside in. That's the thing. It doesn't look it because it's so real when you have cancer. Mm-hmm. But so now it's just I live my life and I'm looking. So the way that it played out for my son last week is, or it's now 2 weeks, he had to decide which high school to go to. Now that's no big deal for most people, but if it was us a few years ago, we would have been, the whole household would have been uncomfortable and stressing each other out. Oh my God, let's write lists, right? Yeah. And my son has studied the principles with us quite a bit over the last 3 years. He's 13 now. And, I'd ask him Monday, what are you thinking? And what I did as his mother was just take him to each school to just see what it looks like. And, Thursday I said, what are you leaning towards? And there was no intensity that he needed to know in order to be peaceful now. No. There's none of that. And I'm not sure I'll always do it that way. There might be days where I stress out about an appointment or about a decision, but that's okay too, because that's all part of you just thinking in the thought storm, and then it settles down. So by Friday, he had to decide Friday at 4. And I told him, you better decide at 3 because, the computer is something. So he said, pick the high school. That was it. And a few things after that are interesting. My husband said to him, aren't you relieved? And he said, no. Because there was no stress to begin with.
Be relieved about, yeah.
And then a few people asked me, well, somebody asked me 2 days ago, why did he choose that school? What was the deciding factor? And I actually said, I don't know. And I have no desire to ask him because I don't know if he knows, because the decision wasn't, I don't really think the decision was made here. I just think it just came to him that that's what he wanted to do. And I don't want to ask him because I don't know if it's necessary to go back to that. No, and creating a decision from thought. So there's a place where we could create a decision that is not from thought. It's hard to believe when you're up against a choice that you really can do that.
Yeah, although we've all experienced it at some time when.
Right.
We've all experienced it at some time. It's just that we then get into, we've been told so many times that when it comes to important things, we should think and we should do this and we should try and we should mentalize it all. And actually that's not true. You're right.
And it's not, and I wasn't irresponsible about the choice either. What I realized is we took a tour of one school with a boy 2 years older than him. And I came back and he and I looked at the other school together and I realized that didn't give the other school a fair shot. So I took the another boy and had him do the same tour. Okay. So I mean, you could look at this as being irresponsible. I could see that. You could say, oh yeah, whatever, let's go in hippie land. And if you're a person and you're in business and you're thinking like that, but the real truth of where the decision comes from is not even in thought to begin with.
No. And I think that's, I was listening to, I can't remember who I was listening to the other day, but talking about a big business, a multi-billion-dollar business that he works with. And he was saying that they understand the principles even before they understood the principles, so that when they had a problem in their business, when they have a problem in their business, they don't sit down and brainstorm it or make lists or, as you said, they don't go, what they do is they go skiing.
Yes, I've heard that before.
And that's the same. It's exactly the same principle.
That's so beautiful.
Allowing the new thought, and actually, it's because most problems we are not going to solve with our old thinking, and they know that they're not going to solve it with their old thinking. So if they sit there and just try and think, that's not going to bring in new thought. They want fresh new thought, and that's only going to come from universal mind, so that, and we have to be open to universal mind. We have to get out of thinking, which is exactly what you were doing, and exactly what he was doing, by the sound of it. So just because time's going on a bit, why just, if people want to know more about your business and how you help them and so on, and about your blogs, because that sounds really interesting too, where do people find these? Whereabouts can they find your business and your website and your blog?
So I am wakeupyourwisdom.com.
Okay.
And then my blog, my Facebook page that I just started, Inspired by You.
Good, thank you.
Is called Cancer Without Fear, Decisions Without Stress.
Okay. Okay.
And that's me.
In any case, they can find you on Facebook as well. We can leave a link to that. I'll leave, with the video, I'll leave links to both of those things too. And your blog is
great.
Your blog is on your website too, is it? Or is that on your Facebook?
The blog is on the website, and there's both on both. There's a few of my blog. I've only done 2 so far. I haven't written anything else lately. Okay. And so you can contact me through any of those things. There's a submit form that you write your name. And
do you work with people in your area, or do you work with people online, or how do you tend to work with people too?
All of the above.
Okay. Well, that helps, so that anybody can get in touch with you from anywhere then, in that case. Yeah. Okay. So if anyone has, and is it just around cancer, or do you work with other topics?
Yeah. Some of my favorite things to work with are other things too. I just like the cancer because I feel like I have cancer, so it's easy to relate to me if you have cancer, because I'm not just pulling smoke out of the hat, because I deal with it, right? But I love working with performance because I have kids. I have a kid at UCLA and I have a kid that's a baseball player. I love working with parents. I haven't developed the program that I'm thinking of developing yet. I love working with parents to help their children perform without stress. And I love working with relationships. Yeah. Because it's never the relationship.
No, absolutely. And relationships are in everything, aren't they? Everybody's about relationships.
Yeah.
So at work.
Even my relationship with my thinking, or my relationship with my cancer.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so people, I'm sure people can get in touch with you directly. In any case, they will find you. Just say it again.
wakeupyourwisdom.com.
Okay, that'll do. Lovely.
And then the Facebook is Cancer Without Fear, Decisions Without Stress.
That sounds really good.
Thank you. Again, inspired by you. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Anne Curtis, by the way. I'm Anne Curtis.
And put your stuff out there.
Well, it's actually Facebook/Home Cure for Cancer. And then I also have Facebook/Make Love for Life.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
Enjoy.